Meeting call to order. Councilmember Chapman.
Here.
Councilmember Clayton.
Here.
Councilmember Kendall.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Here.
Mayor Moore.
Here.
Please stand for a silent prayer and a moment of reflection. We will now salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As to comply with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in the following manner. The annual notice was forwarded to the Asbury Park Press, the Coaster, and the Star Ledger on January 7, 2022, and posted on the bulletin board the same date. All notices are on file with the city clerk. We are now on to special event applications.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. It's just one application before you this evening from Cross and Orange to do a wedding reception in Kennedy Park on November 11th.
That was November.
I'm sorry, November 5th. Any questions?
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. We're now on to items to be presented. We have a presentation by Robert Provost of PFK O'Connor Davies of the 2021 Municipal Audit.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me. I'm here to present the 2021 audit. I guess I'll start with, we issue two opinions on the financial statements, and well, it's actually one opinion on the financial statements. Then we do another opinion and it's on single audit. And I'm happy to say that both those opinions were unmodified, and an unmodified opinion is the best opinion you can find. Within single audit too, that involves testing grants, expenditures, and nowadays too with all the COVID-19 funding and all that's out there, you guys should be really proud on the job that's done here with, the compliance and internal control that's being done over those grants. I was going to keep it relatively brief, but I really want to keep it open for more questions. I was going to give some general highlights over financial statements. But again, please ask anything that you guys want to ask me. Overall, I think the fund balance within beach, transportation, and the current fund, it actually seemed to really increase significantly. And I think that was because the adverse effects of COVID-19, I think finally after 2 years now, it's starting to wear off to the extent where people are returning to the beach, people are parking their cars. I think hotel revenue, tax revenue was up. So I think all that is really attributing to a healthy fund balance. So your current fund balance is around 12 million. Your sewer utility fund balance is about 2.1 million. And a lot of that too is on the sewer side. You paid off a lot of debt service. Last year was at, I think, 272,000. So the fact that you guys actually paid off quite a bit of debt this year was also a plus for you guys to generate some fund balance in that fund. And like I said, the beach utility fund balance is around 6 million. Transportation utility fund is up around 11 million. And as I said, all that's really attributable to, the receipts from the beach and obviously the transportation parking respectively. I guess, like I said, I was trying to keep it brief. I would say, too, when we give these opinions, it's not just the balance sheets that we test. We really try to go into a deep dive on internal controls. We test compliance. And I would say internal controls here are really outstanding. We test cash disbursements, cash receipts, payroll, the grants I mentioned, and everything within those funds. We didn't find anything at all. I mean, you guys really have sound internal controls. Like I said, Joanne and her team does an excellent job. Past that, if there's any questions you guys want, or if I kept it too brief, please, I'll go over anything else in this report. It's just rather voluminous, so just trying to keep it brief and kind of open up for questions from you guys.
So the recommendations or the corrections, you want to go through those?
Yes, absolutely. So again, there's different levels of findings. These particular findings did not yield the level where it would have changed the opinion in any manner. So one was a repeat from last year, and honestly, it's something that we're discovering statewide, I would say. There's an issue you even have up north with a client just on cybersecurity, where school districts, counties, municipalities, I mean, they're really starting to get hit with cyber attacks. So that's something we're really trying to force, just to have a disaster recovery plan in the, unlikely event something happens. And again, that could be, a natural disaster, physical, or obviously, like I said, a cybersecurity hack. It's not that you guys don't have anything in place. It's just we always enforce trying to have, always just keep on it and try to have, the best procedures you can over that. The other finding was on the transportation receipts, and honestly, that was more of a timing situation, where there's certain, credit card reports and cash collected at the meters, and then, the transportation department would kind of utilize their internal controls, not just dump it in the bank or report it without looking at it. So I think the week or two, whatever it is, as they're analyzing the records, and here they're kind of taking the bank statement, reporting the cash. When we got the transportation records, it just led to a discrepancy between the two. So that's kind of what happened with that. And, and Joanne's already put something in place. It seems like going forward, that wouldn't be an issue. And last year, there's a difference too, but it was a lot smaller in nature. It seems like every year there's just a little timing difference between, what gets recorded over there and then what's recorded here in the finance office.
Okay, I know I did most of my questions through Joanne. She got in touch with you, and so most of my questions have been answered. Anybody have any other questions about the audit or the 2 corrective action plans we have to take? No? Good. Well then, thank you, and appreciate you telling us like we're in better shape than last year as far as both the audit and financial, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah, you said you guys are in really great shape. So.
Yeah, and I just want to add and reiterate about our finance department, especially Joanne. She runs an extremely tight ship, and I think over the past couple of years, things have really gotten a lot tighter, and it shows in our report, and it's the way things are run. So thank you, Joanne.
Yeah, yes, I would concur.
Thank you.
There's always certain findings that always kind of pop up within the state that are pretty common issues, and here there's nothing. It's,
Nothing at all.
really.
Thanks, Joanne. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
We're now on to matters from City Council. Councilmember Chapman.
So I just wanted to let everyone know that on November 12th, there will be a Deal Lake cleanup, and people will meet at the boat ramp on 7th Avenue at 9 a.m. These cleanups are really important for our lakes and our parks. And also that the City of Asbury Park has been named Gold Level winner in New Jersey Safe Routes to School Recognition Program. And that means that the program was created by New Jersey Department of Transportation and administered by Jersey Safe Routes Resource Center. And we've done a great job, so I just want to acknowledge everyone that was involved in that.
Thank you. Councilmember Clayton.
I just want to thank everyone that came out on Saturday for the community festival, all of the vendors and the visitors, and especially Monmouth County Meets the Needs for providing clothing and food for giveaways. So thank you very much for coming out and supporting us.
Thank you. Councilmember Kendall.
I have nothing at this time.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Nothing.
Thank you. Mayor Moore.
Nothing, thank you.
Thank you. Matters from the city manager.
I have nothing, Lisa. Thank you.
Matters from the city attorney.
And I have nothing either.
Thanks. We're now on to public participation. May I have a motion to open the meeting to the public?
Move it.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Public participation portion of the meeting is now open. Any member of the public who wishes to speak, please use the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and there will be a 3-minute time limit for each speaker. Again, please name and address.
You can go right
It's
back
in
to
the
that
microphone.
there.
Yep.
Hi, my name is Darlene Tyler, 1201 Springwood Avenue,
Thank you.
Unit 104. The name of my nonprofit is Empower Me of Monmouth County. I came tonight because I would like to do a fundraiser. It's going to be a sleep out. I know that I do have to speak with special events about it also. And the date would be December 8th, and it's going to bring awareness to those less fortunate, meaning the homeless and addiction. We would like to sleep on the grounds of the municipal building or either the train station. I would like for it to start between 6 or 8 p.m. and last until 6 a.m. the following morning. We would be sleeping in cardboard boxes, sleeping bags, or blankets.
Okay, is that it?
Yes.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
Have
if
to
you could
submit
just,
an
on our
application.
website, there's an application, a link for the special events permit, but Alicia Floyd's here, she's our recreation director who manages that, she can walk you through that. And then we'll have to put this on a special events committee, we'll discuss it, we might need to have you come, have some more questions, and then we'll discuss it and then present it to council at a subsequent meeting.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
We had another organization do this, remember on the boardwalk
Yes.
years ago?
Yeah.
That at some, it might not be worth just reaching out to them to figure out what worked and what really didn't work, unless you've done a bunch of these before.
My name's Carrie Martin, 1001 2nd Avenue. I had some questions tonight about the participatory budget process, which I'm kind of anxious for, but haven't heard anything about. The city website for the past 2 months, I think, has said something about the voting process will happen October 1st to October 31st, and tune in early fall about the voting process, but we're already at the end of October. So I'm just wondering what is happening with that. The second question I was wondering is, it is actually a committee, it's a participatory budget committee. So if the committee has met already, is it subject to the Open Public Meetings Act? Meaning, will the public be part of those meetings, not just the final meeting, but all the meetings? So if they haven't met all yet, I'm guessing we will hear about those meetings soon. The third question or concern I have is the actual committee and how it was formed. I know it's really hard to fill board seats and committee seats. You have to find the right person with the right time on their hands and expertise. I also know putting youth on boards is sometimes like a good idea, but maybe in reality it doesn't work with like their schedule or their expertise. But I think the participatory budget committee is one committee that there should be youth on. And from what I see, there's not. I don't know all the applicants personally or all the committee members personally, but it seems like it's people that own single-family homes and are over the age of 50. And kids did apply too. I have all 40 applicants right here to be on the committee. 4 8th graders from Hope Academy applied. 3 other people that they checked the boxes that they were students and they seemed to live in the southwest quadrant of Asbury. So why weren't they picked to be on this board? And then one other question I found out today was that Alex Kruzetsky on the board, he said he resigned a month ago. So has his position been filled?
So I can start with why there are no children on the board. When we put this committee together, it was right around the end of the school year. You're right, students did apply. When we contacted them to attend meetings, we were told they either didn't answer or were told they weren't available. So that's why there's no student. I think we have 1 student on, and 1 student actually submitted a proposal to us. So right now, we're in this stage, and how the committee was formed, like every other boards and commissions, people submitted applications. And so that's where the committee came from.
The committee has met already.
The committee met to get their initial instructions on how to move forward.
Okay.
And so we've collected submissions from people all over the city. We got a lot of submissions, some really good ones, some that are not actually capital projects. And so we've reached out to the folks who are still in the process. The committee members have each taken a group of names. So they're reaching out to the people who submitted ideas that were not capital projects to let them know that they would not be considered. For some of the others, we've had to reach back out to these people for additional information so we could cost it out, because you know that the cap is $250,000. So somebody would say, I want some park benches. Well, we have to reach back out and say, how many park benches? Where do you want them? We want a bigger concept, not just we want some park benches. Or we think there should be a dog park. Well, where do you think that should be a dog park? How big do you think it should be? What amenities do you think should be in it? And so the process got to be a little more than we had initially anticipated. So these are things that we're going through now.
Okay.
Did that answer all your questions?
It did, yeah, I look forward to.
Okay, and we look forward to having this happen. So
Yeah.
once we vet this process, there will be sort of like a town hall meeting where people can come and see presentations or ideas or images, and then the whole city votes on this. So it's not the committee that votes on this, it's the entire
Right, yeah.
city who votes on this, including students
Yeah.
14 years and older. So we're looking to draw them in, and maybe as time goes on, we'll be able to actually get more participation from students. But I think, we're still learning our way through this process as well.
Okay.
And I think I
Looking
answered
forward to
all
it.
your questions. But feel free to reach out at any time.
So
I
when
will.
do you see the voting?
I'm going to say probably after the regular elections, because I think then
Oh,
it
for
gets
sure.
confusing. People started to also think
Oh, yeah,
that
but
they
we
were
have no
voting for
meetings.
this.
I mean, December?
I would say November.
Okay.
You think, Donna?
We have to get to a point where we're able to present these projects to the public. So that's going to find either at a council meeting or another special meeting. So that is what we have to coordinate. In November, it's kind of a tight with Thanksgiving and school holidays and whatnot. So we'll look,
Right.
yeah,
And
so
the-
we'll look to have a public presentation of all the projects that have been submitted, and then we'll set up the voting.
Okay.
People thought when they came to vote for election, they would be voting on these too. And so we try to separate that. It was a little bit confusing.
Uh-huh. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. My name is Diane Shelton. I reside at 1201 Springwood Avenue. First, as the president of the Board of Trustees for the library, on behalf of them, I wish to thank the mayor and Councilwoman Yvonne Clayton for coming out last night to our open house. Surely everybody knows that we went through a stormy period, but it was great to open the doors and for everyone to see the transformations that's taking place at the library, and I thank you. And in the event that residents are not aware, fines for late returns of books for youth 17 and under, they have been abolished. Okay, also, there will be a receptacle outside the library that looks like the mailbox for return of books. So those are some of the new things that are coming into existence. Okay. The other thing is an inquiry. It pertains to the message board located in Springwood Park. I understand that the most difficult part of owning an electric sign is the creation of quality content. I understand that. However, what I have a problem with the not understanding is why the policy only allows for city-related, anything the city is involved in, city information, which I understand telephone numbers and how to reach certain departments, that is all understandable. There has been a lot of things, particularly events that the city has, especially events the city has approved. Like last year, when I attempted to get the Juneteenth Day up on the message board, they said no, because that was against policy. I just need to understand because the community wanted the message board. We understand that it takes a lot to maintain it, but can you explain to me why nothing that happens over and no other persons can ask for some information to go up on the board? I'm talking about not persons, but organizations.
Is that all your questions?
That's all my questions.
Okay, so number one, thank you very much for the excellent job you're doing at the library, and your staff should be commended. It's fantastic compared to 6 months ago. And number two, no, we can't answer your second question because I don't know the answer. So let us figure it out, and that's Donna, you know the answer.
Yeah, Diane, I'm not specific about the Juneteenth, I don't remember that. But for the most part, we try to put all events for the community that are not for profit. So if you're having a garage sale, we're not going to put that on there. But if they're community events within the city for city residents, primarily they all go on. I don't remember about Juneteenth last year, and I apologize, but, you know, I think that for the most part, we try to get everything up there that we can. But things that are for profit or craft sales or things like that, we won't put up. So,
Oh, I understand that.
Yeah.
But I do remember asking, and I think then I turned the question over to one of the council women, because we were trying to get at least the Juneteenth day up last year.
okay, yeah, and that may have been a time I wasn't here, so I don't remember that, but
Okay.
we can figure it out
I
for
mean, this year, sorry.
Yeah,
And that's why I said I didn't want to answer, because I thought we put up all community events. So that's something we'll look into to the best. If we fouled that one up last year, won't foul up this year, or 2023. So Juneteenth will be up. But I thought, that's why I didn't want to answer. I thought they were all up. So let us look back into it and we'll get back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thanks, Diane.
Good evening. My name is Chief Robert Belfiore. I'm retired from the Port Authority Police Department of New York and New Jersey, and I'm here representing law
Your
enforcement.
address, sir? I'm sorry, your address?
Excuse me?
Your address?
I don't live in the city.
That's okay, we just need your address.
Okay. My address is in Jersey City, 178 Hancock Avenue, Jersey City, New Jersey. I represent law enforcement for Special Olympics New Jersey, along with Special Olympics and Ed Dean. We've been doing the Splash and Dash in Asbury Park for a few years now, and you've allowed us to continue to do it. We raise money for children, adolescents, and adults with intellectual disabilities. We have all volunteers. All law enforcement officers raise money for our athletes. There are no salaries. Over the last couple of years, we've been raising about $4 million a year, absent COVID years. 100% of that money goes to our athletes for training, uniforms, facilities, whatever they need. Special Olympics and us work hand in hand, raising that money and making sure that all of that money goes to the athletes. I'm here tonight to request, again, permission to do the Splash and Dash on November 19th. And we do, what's it, a 5K, Ed? 5K, then directly after that, everybody jumps in the ocean. Again, all that money goes right to our athletes. I'm here on behalf of Special Olympics New Jersey to present the Mayor Council with a plaque recognizing them for what they do for Special Olympics New Jersey. It says, presented with sincere appreciation to the city of Asbury Park. Your support has given athletes a chance to learn, grow, and know the joy of sports and athletic competition throughout the participation for Special Olympics. I was asked by the executive director, and Ed and I were asked to present you with this plaque and, again, request permission to do this, the Dash and Splash.
Okay, you filled out a special events application, right?
It's already been approved.
Yeah, you've already been approved, so that's fantastic, and we thank you for all you've done throughout the years, especially in Asbury Park and throughout the country, and for you to come tonight and give us a plaque is our honor and privilege, and I feel humbled, so we'll come down and accept it. Thank you.
That's fine, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything that you're doing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
There you go, Lee. Front and center.
And again, thank you very much for the review.
Any other members of the public wish to speak?
Okay?
Go ahead.
Yep.
Hi, Rita Morano, 8th Avenue, Asbury Park. I looked at the audit that he presented tonight, and it's a very good it's a good review. There's only one thing missing from it, and that's the abatable stuff that we all see around town. Like the non-ratables, we have 80 of them. I think we could do better with them. I don't think we should have any more in this town. We're 1 little mile and we have 80 nonprofits. They're all here. Other towns don't have that. They have a few. And I'm for all non-ratables, but you can't take buildings off the tax roll and make them nonprofit. And you're about to do another one soon, so I hear. And it's not a good idea. You have to put a stop to it. 80 nonprofits are here. And I think I saw the number. It was like $71,000. I don't know if that's an accurate number. I saw it in one of my books. But you have to do something about that. And I think then you'll be doing real good. I don't know what he talked about. He sort of double talked about the recommendation. We can get a copy of the audit, I think, right? I hope so. Anyway, it was a good report, but I think you should really concentrate on not having any more nonprofits in the community. 80 is more than enough. If you look at the abstract on one of the forms, you'll see that we're one of the highest as far as non-ratables, and that's not good. It's a lot of land, and also, I don't know if you could do it, but you should look into the school land. They got so much land that they don't pay taxes on. And there's one school that's vacant. That would have been perfect for the firehouse with all that land around it. But it's sitting there empty, and I think it could become a rateable. I'm not sure how these things work. There's so many grants, so many this and that. You know how it is. But will you concentrate on nonprofits and see that you can get them back on the tax rolls? You know, it's a lot of money, and it might reduce our taxes. I don't know if it will, but would help. But we didn't get the beach report, and we didn't get the parking report, and we didn't find out the results of our big extravaganza that we had at the beachfront. I mean, that would have helped lift people up, because people are kind of depressed with the conditions going on today.
Okay,
So what happened to the beach and the parking report?
The parking report is going to be the second meeting in November, I
Correct.
believe. It's going to be more than just parking. It's going to be a transportation report of everything and anything going on to do with parking, transportation, safe streets to schools, everything. James Bonanno will be making that the second meeting in November, so that'll be done. I'm sure by next meeting, we should have all the numbers done by the beach, so we can do that at the first meeting in November as far as beach receipts and everything. That's easy. As far as the nonprofits, you know, you got to go to the people above us, be it the senators and assembly people, like, we can't stop a nonprofit from not paying taxes. As far as like using the Obama school for a firehouse, couldn't be done, good idea, but it's not centrally located, and the insurance company wouldn't approve it because the firehouse has to be kind of centrally located where they can get to each section of the town within so many seconds, and that wouldn't fall into that area. Again, that's the Board of Education. So I think I answered all your questions, but the nonprofits, we have no say over. And if there's a nonprofit, like years ago, the hospital was declared a nonprofit, and then Neptune went after their gift shops and the restaurants and everything. Anything like that we can do, we have done, and we have hit a couple of nonprofits where they are generating a profit. We tax that part of the building. So we are looking at it, but we can't tax churches, we can't tax schools, and if it's a legitimate nonprofit and they're not generating revenue, we cannot tax them.
What about the, like the personal ones?
Okay, well, give me a yell with which ones that we'll look into, Rita, but thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, Kathleen Muma, 1104 Sunset Avenue. I have an announcement from the Green Team, and I have two questions tonight. So the announcement from the Green Team, we're starting a new initiative called Adopt a Drain, and that asks residents who are interested, they can adopt a drain in their neighborhood, and that means they agree to keep it clear of leaves and trash and debris. The benefits of that are it reduces water pollution. It improves the health of our lakes. We have 3 lakes in Asbury Park that are suffering from pollution, from stormwater runoff and other things. But if we stop the pollution, if we stop the source of the pollution, which is the debris that's filled with oil and fuel from our cars too, we can stop that and dispose of it properly. It'll improve our lakes. Also, when the storm drains are clogged, these are drains that are usually on the corner, and they're shaped like a rectangle, and they have holes so that when it rains a lot, the water flows down and then it flows into our lakes. When those drains are clogged with leaves and trash, and we have a big heavy rainfall, this can flood cars. My friend lost her car this way because the storm drain was clogged and it flooded her car. So it's another way that we can protect our neighborhood and our property. We'll have a website. If people want to sign up, they can just, it's kind of like just, agree. It's like Adopt a Highway, but just a little spot in front near your house. You just, when you see trash and things in it, you clean it up, either rake it up or throw it away. So that's my announcement about that. Look for more. We're also talking to the Asbury Park Arts Council about maybe incorporating a beautification project in that way that draws attention, like positive attention to the drains and what they do, how they serve in our infrastructure. I have 2 questions. The first, there's an item on the agenda tonight about a liquor license transfer at 1101 Ocean. And I wondered if it's a reduction in premise, so does that mean that they have a license they can, they could sell or reapply to something else? As one question. My last question, most importantly, my neighbor's son, Mr. Walker, he was murdered in broad daylight, Kaishan Washington Walker. And I was watching a city council meeting from September, and his fiance asked a question about the Crime Stopper funding. And I wanted to know what the answer to that question is, and excuse me, if there are any updates that the public can know about regarding this unsolved murder.
Okay, so 1101 Ocean is asking for a reduction in their liquor license, where right now it covers the 5th floor, and they say we no longer serve liquor on the 5th floor, so take it off our license. And I'm guessing they're doing that for insurance purposes.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Right, so-
they never sold, I think initially the thought was the 5th floor would not be residential. It is residential, so they're just removing it from the liquor license.
Right, so they're just withdrawing that floor, which is all residential. So as far as I reached out to the family, the city attorney advised us that we cannot make a contribution to the Crime Stoppers Fund, but I told the family we will help them any way possible as far as helping them to raise money towards that effort. But legally, we cannot do it.
Okay.
In the county?
Any other news that the public can know about, or, you know,
But it's still an ongoing investigation, and I think I'd be willing to bet, and the families here, that they'd be the first ones to tell you that they know more than I do, because I know the detectives are constantly in touch with them as far as any updates, anything. I know we had the last march, I don't know if you're planning any future marches, to keep the momentum going and try to get the results as soon as possible, because you're right, there's people in this community that know what happened, they just will not come forward. So again, anything we can do to help that way, we can do, but we cannot make a cash contribution to increase the reward, whatever. Okay, thank you.
Hi, how are you? My name is Anasia Taylor. I'm at 237 Boston Way. I'm also a student at journalism student at Brookdale Community College. My questions are actually more towards, can you help me pronounce your last name, Vieira? Vieira. My questions are actually more geared for you because I understand that you have more power. What programs are in place for AP public officials to expand their knowledge on diversity, inclusion, and bias like schools and jobs?
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
What programs are in place for your Asbury Park public officials are in place to expand their knowledge on diversity, inclusion, and bias like schools and jobs?
So regarding schools and jobs, I can't speak for the school system because that's separate from municipal government. However, here in the city, we're part of what's called the JIF, a Joint Insurance Fund, and through that, they provide training to all our employees for diversity and inclusion. Also, the city participates in the Garden State Equality Index, where we participate, which you might be familiar with, and each year we participate in that scorecard.
Is it mandatory?
It's not mandatory, but we choose to participate.
Okay. What is your plan to improve the relationship between Asbury Park Police Department and West Side residents in height of their recent racial discrimination lawsuits, the recent murder of Kaishawn Walker, and other unsolved murders in Asbury Park?
So the mayor and council last year implemented a lot of policies and procedures within the city. One of them is we allocated money for a social services worker to work cooperatively with the police department. And that has resulted in her participating in many ride-alongs and a lot of interventions. Additionally, the mayor and council have also allocated money, about $1 million, to renovate the transportation center to become our new social services department. And that will enable our police as well as our social services department to interact with residents easier than coming here to City Hall. And we also have done a lot of outreach with our police department based on what has occurred in the past couple of years.
Have you had any direct communication with anybody regarding these issues directly?
Yes, so our police department, Lieutenant Petway, has been integral. He's our community relations police officer, and he has made many contacts throughout, along with other officers under his command.
When was your most recent contact with him, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't have that information.
Okay, all right, thank you so much.
Okay, if you have any more questions, if you want to reach out to me directly or Chief Kelso, we can give you a lot more information. I just don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. I'm Louise Murray, Grand Avenue, Asbury Park. I just need an explanation on 2 invoices. I don't know what they are. What do you need, the budget page or what? What do you want me to tell you? Page 11.
Okay, hold on a second, Louise. We'll give you more time. Let us find it. Packet page or?
The very page.
What?
Page number 11. The very top, trans-utility, O/E mobile app fees.
Give
Says
me a
Probably the
department.
parking app.
Give me a department, and,
She said transportation, it's probably the parking. Okay.
because we
Said
have different pages.
transportation.
We have different pages. I don't know what you
Oh,
have.
sorry.
We have packet page.
What else do you need?
A department and And who's the bills being made out to in a dollar amount?
20555, is that what you want?
No, like it will say
Louise,
department.
why don't you bring up what happened, Joanne's here, she can tell us. I mean,
I'm
it sounds
sorry?
like it's.
Tell us what
page
department,
11.
like it says administration, it says police, it says DPW,
It says trans-utility.
trans-utility.
That's the transportation utility.
Okay, $11,000.
Hold on a second.
$11,010
That's probably for the mobile pay app.
for Park Mobile USA.
Yeah, that's for the parking app, right, Joanne?
Explain that to
Right.
me. That's all I want to know is what is it?
Yeah, those are the fees that are required to pay to the,
The parking app.
Oh.
The meters.
Go around. Okay, all right, and then there's $115 for New Jersey League of Municipalities for job advertisements. What are we advertising for?
Whenever we have open jobs, we put it on the League of Municipality website, and this is the cost to have a job for a month posted on the League website.
Okay.
Okay?
That's all. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Louise.
Any other members of the public wish to speak?
Before you close, I'd like to say something to the family. About 2 weeks ago, I was in South. I was, for a death in my family. The school system had a parade which is relatively large. My nephew was standing right next to me with his baby, and his wife was standing next to, about as close as Amy is. People came along, sprayed bullets, and he had the baby in his arms. But the bullets hit him on the side, and I'm hearing that he's paralyzed now. The reason I brought this up is because of this. Yes, we sympathize with you, but when you see things like that happen, and it really, I'm sitting back there thinking, and I'm saying, oh my God, these people, what they've been through when the last time you was here. But now I know what you're going through. It's something that you just seen, have nightmares about. You can't even think. So I'm just saying, God bless you, and just hang in there. Because sometimes you have to see things before you believe it. But you guys stick together and hang in there, and of course, we're for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Kendall. Motion to close public?
Move it.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
I want to address the family. I'm not looking for an answer now, but after the meeting, if you either meet with me or the city manager, because when I heard the city manager saying how social services, I saw some shaking heads. So I'm hoping social services has been in touch with you.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not one time, not at all.
I saw you shaking your head, and that's very disappointing to me. So can we look
Said
into
they were
that?
going to, but no one never came out, ever. Only one is the detective I talked to. With the social services, they said they would, but they never reached out.
I saw you shaking your head, and that was very disturbing to me, and that's why I wanted to
Me as well.
ask
I,
you.
I was told something totally different, so I truly apologize, and I will handle that. You're welcome.
And anything like that, let us know right away. Don't wait for 2 weeks for a council meeting. If somebody's supposed to be there and we think they're there, and everybody thinks mayor and council knows everything, sometimes we're the last ones. If I didn't see you shaking your head, I wouldn't be asking this question. So don't be scared to speak up. We know it's a terrible tragedy. We know what you're going through. Anything we can do to help will help. But when somebody's not doing their job, be the first one to say, hey, John, hey, Donna, hey, Amy, hey, Eileen, hey, Jesse, hey, Yvonne. Nobody's come to see us, because that will be, Donna will be in touch with you tomorrow. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Public session is now closed. We're now on to the minutes. First up, we have the Municipal Council Executive Meeting Minutes and Municipal Council Regular Meeting Minutes, both of September 28, 2022. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton?
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall?
Abstain.
Deputy Mayor Quinn?
Abstain.
Mayor Moore?
Yes.
Thank you. And now we have the Municipal Council Regular Meeting Minutes of October 20th, 2022. Do I have a motion?
I have to abstain. I was in. Yeah, I was
You were all
here.
here, you were all here.
I was here for that one?
Yeah.
Then I have to abstain for the other one, right?
No,
No, I was
you were
here.
here, you were
Okay. Yes.
Motion.
Move it.
Second.
Thank you. Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Thank you. We're now on to consent agenda resolutions. All matters listed on the consent agenda are presented collectively to City Council and will be considered for approval with one vote. These matters are considered to be routine in nature, and there will be no individual discussion of these items. If discussion is desired by one or more council members as to any particular item, then said item shall be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. On consent tonight, we have resolutions 2022-430 through 2022-432 and 2022-440, which is a resolution appointing Jose Alcaraz to the Zoning Board of Adjustment. Do I have a motion?
Move it?
Second.
Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
We're now on to individual resolutions. I have Resolution 2022-433, a resolution approving payment of bills.
Move it.
Second?
Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes on all except 22-02904, which I vote no on.
2094.
02904.
What is it?
What is it? A bill.
22-02904.
Correct.
You got it. Thank you. Now on to Resolution 2022-434, resolution authorizing emergency purchase of a flow recorder needed at the wastewater treatment plant.
Move it?
Second.
Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Resolution 2022-435, a resolution approving change order number 1 with Shore Point Architecture for the new fire station.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
No.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Resolution 2022-436, a resolution awarding a contract to S. Brothers for Memorial Drive sanitary sewer improvements.
Move it?
Second.
Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Resolution 2022-437, a resolution to adjust sewer charges on various accounts.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Resolution 2022-438, a resolution of support of a grant award extension from the New Jersey Department of Transportation for the reconstruction of Monroe Avenue and Comstock Street.
Move it?
Second.
Question.
Yep.
It's a short question, it's more of a statement. I talked to Donna and I talked to the engineer about this. Since we get so many complaints about speeding and not enough speed humps and everything, I'm going to suggest, not looking for an answer tonight, when we're redoing entire streets, maybe we should be putting the speed humps in there so we don't buy the cheap plastic ones, the macadam, and if we can't figure out how to plow them, we'll ask Neptune and every other town that does it. But I mean, I think it's something we should look into, because it's cheaper to do it then when they're out there doing the streets than going back 2 years later. So, okay.
I have a question on this. It also says, the grant was for the purpose of reconstruction of 8th Avenue.
Yay.
Resolution
we-
438 in the body, it says like that.
We already did that.
It might just be a typo.
Typo.
Yeah.
It's just a
Okay,
typo.
I just want to make sure we're all clear on that.
Yeah, we already approved it, that is a typo.
Right.
You've already been approved, Rita.
Okay. When?
It'll start in
Soon.
2023.
Oh, God, I hope I live that long.
That's right around the corner, Rita.
So we got Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 2022-408, a resolution adopting a corrective action plan in response to the recommendations contained in the 2021 report of audit.
Move it.
Second?
Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Resolution 2022-409, resolution accepting the 2021 municipal audit.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes, and both on 408 and 409, I'd like to say what the city manager did and thank Joanne, the CFO, and her staff. We had less corrective actions this year, and you are doing a heck of a job. Thank you very, very much.
Totally agree.
Resolution 2022-426, a resolution approving membership into the New Jersey Intergovernmental Insurance Fund.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Resolution 2022-439, a resolution requesting permission for the dedication by rider for revenues derived from donations acquired by NJSA 40A:5-29.
Move it.
Second.
Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
We are now on to ordinances. Second reading, public hearing. We have ordinance 2022-12, an ordinance amending and supplementing subsection 12-1.3 entitled Fees of Section 12-1 State Uniform Construction Code Enforcing Agency of Chapter 12 Building Construction of the Code of the City of Asbury Park. Before we open up public hearing, does anyone want to do a brief overview?
So as required by the New Jersey Lead Safe statute, we have to amend our ordinance to allow for a filing fee of $10, an additional $20 fee for the Lead Hazard Assistance Fund established by the state.
Thank you. May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance 2022-12?
Move it.
Second.
Would anybody
All in
like
favor?
to
Aye. Thank you.
be heard on this ordinance? Motion to close.
Move it.
Second.
Thank you. Public session on ordinance 2022-12 is now closed. Motion to adopt 2022-12.
Move to adopt.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
We're now on to ordinance 2022-13. This is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 3, Police Regulations of the Code of the City of Asbury Park in certain limited respects. Before we have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance 2022-13, may I have a brief overview?
Greg, you want
I can speak to it.
Go ahead.
It's a very simple amendment to revise the city's ordinance to ensure that it complies with the parameters allowed under state statute.
Thank you, Fred. Motion to open the public hearing on ordinance 2022-13.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any members of the public wish to speak? May I have a motion to close the public?
Move it.
Second.
Public session now closed. On ordinance 2022-13, motion to adopt ordinance 2022-13.
Move to adopt.
Thank you. Second to adopt?
Second.
Thank you. Councilmember Chapman.
Yes.
Councilmember Clayton.
Yes.
Councilmember Kendall.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Quinn.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Anyone doesn't have anything else, we're on to adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second to adjourn? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.